Welcome back to the In the Course Show. I am your host, Mr. B. Today is a very interesting day. There's a lot of snow coming outside after an 80-degree day. Who would have thought? Anyways, that aside, I am reacting to a video that came out by Charleston White. Apparently, he has some thoughts as to why he believed Jasmine Crockett lost her Senate race and her overall position in Congress. So, without any further ado, let's jump into that video and see what his thoughts are.
We need a spook that can sit by the door. We need a spook that can sit by the door. We don't need a weave-wearing black woman with a smart mouth attitude, homie. It's a way to be like her, but not like her.
All right, Charleston, just to get
keep going.
No. Just to get political for a second. We just had an election here. Jasmine Crockett lost.
Yeah. She talked her way out of Congress.
Yeah, but I said, do you think she going at Trump technically ended her career in Congress?
Well,
people were like fist up in the air.
Black people were poor black people who barely vote with the low voter turnout.
Low voter turnout.
The people that pumping their fist for you has the lowest voter turnout. So you're relying on them, right? You're relying on them. Texas has Mexicans, it has whites, it has the largest Indian, Pakistani nationalities here. So what about those people? You have constituents that are not all black.
And return the lighter, and don't take that with you.
I won't. Oh, I need an ashtray too now.
We gotta ask you. Come on, we gotta ask you that. Come on now.
So now,
so why was she like she was catering to her to the black folks and it was getting her to some money, some TikTok money, some YouTube money, some Instagram money or something.
So she wasn't getting a bunch of money. She wasn't getting a bunch of money. As a politician, that's not your job to be getting money. No, she f***ed up, homie. She lost focus, and she became more divisive.
Very true.
We need a spook that can sit by the door. We don't need a weave-wearing black woman with a smart mouth attitude, homie. It's a way to be like her, but not like her. Homie, the flop, and she was attacking people, and she was being too niggerish, homie. Yeah, we want you to keep it real, but nigga, my mama would never come off like her.
Nah, hey, come on.
And she talking like she from the hood. She ain't from the hood. Why put on the hood persona with the hood lingo and the hood thing? Yeah, it's cute to the mindset, but to the elite intellectual, that's a homie. Nobody likes a diva. Nobody. And if you're trying to be something in Congress, we don't need a snappy black chick.
Yeah, that was cool for a viral moment, but yeah.
It's hard for a black woman to be like her with no man or husband, and the world embraces her and pushes her out as a leader, and she has no man or husband.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. Should she become?
She go sit her head down somewhere. No. Go to and don't worry about nothing. Just live her life. Man, she want to lose. I know she do.
Yeah.
She want to lose fuck.
Take my
whole tired of tiptoe sneaking. She want to lose, nigga. Everybody want to lose fuck.
Should she become like a Charlie Kirk? Just go ahead and do her own thing. Just start doing PSAs all around the world.
They'll kill her. She try to go do her own thing. Nigga, they gonna target her.
Yeah, she do come with security everywhere she go.
But she don't need it. Now who gonna cover that big old bill? That taxpayer will cover to spend for her security.
Come on.
Nigga, she didn't need security at first. But if you with them people, yeah, you gonna need them. And you ain't got no team of killers that can buck them people. So what they typically do, homie, is they water down her race and put somebody else in there to split the votes. They know how to beat you.
That's facts.
It ain't in America the white boy can't beat.
Oh yeah, come on. They set up the system. And then they set up the system.
Well, you're in their system, operating in their system.
Yeah.
If you got to complain, you got to go complain to their system. And you got an attitude when you come in. There's not much you're going to get through in their system. That's why there's a term called a spook who sat by the door. Who is our spook? Do we have a spook that sits by the door that gives us information to help better? We don't have a spook. All of our so-called spooks are arguing, beating on their chest, complaining, but can't get nothing done.
Yeah, he's facts.
So there you have it. That was Charleston White weighing in on Jasmine Crockett and why she lost her Senate run. Well, in a way that only Charleston White can put it, he's 100% correct. Jasmine Crockett lost her run because she overplayed her hand. You know, she is a single Black woman, I would imagine. Maybe she is involved behind closed doors, but there's no public relationship on Front Street. And she did get a push to be this outspoken leader for a group of people. And eventually, when you don't really do anything that would actually rally those group of people to actually support you, and instead you do things to more so make those group of people doubt your qualifications and your ability to be an effective representative, then you're really not going to get the support. But where she failed the most is, I believe, she didn't try to galvanize new voters. You can't win elections in the big state of Texas for the Senate solely relying on the Black vote. You can't. I'm sorry. You got to get some white votes, and you got to get some Spanish votes, and you got to get some other votes. But the Black vote alone is not going to carry you over the hump. And that's assuming you're going to get all the Black votes. And Black people don't exactly vote. Well, that's not fair to say. A lot of Black people vote along party lines, but the more informed ones tend to not so much guarantee a particular party or vote. There's a movement of Black voters who are more conservative in nature and who actually is listening and who actually is paying attention and who are educating themselves to know what it is that you stand for and stand behind. And those people are questioning things. And if those people aren't feeling like you really have their best interest in mind, they're not going to support you, which is why you saw Barack Obama come out and say, well, the Black men are not really rallying behind this Black woman when he was talking about Blacks supporting Kamala Harris. And in reality, it was like he was talking down to a group of people, and it had the adverse effect where more people was offended by his comments than fired up by it. And so I think there's an element of that where a lot of people just assume because you look like them, you think like them, and you want what they want. That's not true. People who look like you don't necessarily want the same things you want. I could look like you and root for a whole different football team. And you could look like me and root for a whole different football team. We could have different tastes and interests, music, activities. Just because we look alike doesn't mean that we share the same ideology in life. So that's a false assumption to make, and it's really kind of insulting, right? No two Black people exactly think the same. It's not true. So she really kind of bet wrong. She didn't really manage her leverage, right? And she didn't really utilize her strengths to her advantage. Being outspoken and having a platform is not a negative thing. How you do that, how you leverage it matters. Because if you mismanage your platform and the stage that people give you to stand on, and instead of winning people over, you lose them by, ghetto behavior or by just really being someone that other people can't relate to or find themselves in good conscience supporting. I mean, you're calling a mayor who's in a wheelchair, not a mayor, a governor who's in a wheelchair, Governor Hot Wheels. Then fast forward, that guy changes the redistricting of your state, and now you don't have a district to represent. I mean, do you think maybe that was poor judgment to make that comment to offend and alienate a governor whom you're supposed to be a teammate of? Because as a representative, your job is to go into the federal houses of government, i.e. Congress and Senate, to sort of rally for the people in your state, which you and that governor was both elected to represent. But you're bad-mouthing the guy who represents your state and who has the power to take you out of power. Why would you do that? That's poor judgment. And that was for everyone to see. Then you're this ghetto banter going back and forth between you and other representatives, and the argument, it sounds more like a show on Jerry Springer than it sounds like a educated person having a real conversation about policy. And people who look like you have to say, that's my representative. That's not something that makes them proud. Being out loud, being outspoken is not a bad thing, but if you're outspoken for the wrong things, then it is. So it's an unfortunate thing, but she misplayed her hand. She had bad people around her who weren't being honest with her, who weren't being candid with her, and who weren't saying, hey, I'm sure your parents taught you better in terms of teaching you how to, conduct yourself in a more ladylike manner. Not saying the lady wasn't pretty, not saying the lady wasn't accomplished. She obviously went to school. She apparently had a decent education. So her parents did right by her by giving her access to good education and essentially a decent upbringing. But at some point you make decisions in life. And when you're making decisions that's influenced by the actions of others for the sake of clickbaiting and trying to go viral, rather than making sound decisions, you lose your post. You lose your job. It's not guaranteed to you. And unfortunately, she had to learn the hard way. Now, that's not to say America's not a place of comeback. She might be able to bounce back from it, depending on how resilient she is, depending on whether or not she's willing to take accountability for all her missteps. The American public could be forgiving. There's been plenty of people who's done probably a lot worse things than she's ever done, who's got a position in office. So never downplay a comeback story. But at the end of the day, you got to be honest with your own actions and how it may have led you to the outcome that you're in now. This is not something specific to just Jasmine Crockett. It's for all of us. We all have to eventually look in the mirror and say, I could have done this better. I could have done that better. I lost my way here. Here's how I'm going to shift the narrative and change this and reinvent myself in this manner. So I hope she's able to do it. I'll be rooting for her to do it. But I just believe that she needs to really kind of reassess what she stands for and whether or not what she stands for aligns with what people want her to stand for. That's to be determined. Anyhow, that's my take on this particular topic. You guys saw what Charleston White had to say. He laid out his points of view. So, definitely weigh in. Let me know what you think about what was said here by myself or Charleston. Like and subscribe if you're not already connected to the show. And also, I ask and I urge you to weigh in, let your voice be heard, and, join the conversation. All right, it's yours truly, Mr. B. Signing out. Have a blessed one.